Fellow citizens of the Republic of South Africa, together with the foreign nationals sojourning in our midst, can we for a moment gather here and debunk this myth that Africa is one? Indeed, Africa is a single continent, like any other continent in the world. But in terms of governance, Africa is not one. Africa is a continent that has an abundance of countries in it. And each country is its own republic, sovereign republic, with its own rules or laws or legislation, tradition or way of doing things that is actually agreed upon by the people or the inhabitants within that specific country. So, if Africa was one, then it means then we would be having one constitution for the whole of Africa. If Africa was one, we would be having legislations that actually apply throughout Africa. If Africa was one, we would be having a single president. So it's just a myth. It's something that some of us would love to see happening. Would love to have that kind of an Africa. But for now, Africa is not one. And it actually raises alarm that Africa becomes one only within the context of South Africa. So everyone, when in South Africa, Africa is one. But then out of the scope of South Africa, or out of the boundaries of this republic, you go to Zimbabwe, you go to Ghana, then you do not actually see, or you do not hear or witness people town crying the very same myth that Africa is one. So it's really something that will I think that is where the problem is. We need to actually iron out that issue first. Then everything will just fall into place. So for as long as there is this mindset that Africa is one and this oneness is only within South Africa, then it means we'll always be having problems. Now, where am I going with this? Basically, everyone is seeing what is happening. We have good, reasonable foreign nationals within our midst who actually do add value. But then it seems that now, recently, it's now emerging, and it's becoming now a norm that we are having rascals, foreign nationals who think that they can do as they wish in this country. I think I have to remind you. Think back 2007, 2008. I was among those who were at the core of actually begging on your behalf. I mean, those reasonable foreign nationals. There is an abundance of individuals who are foreign nationals who were supposed to perish back then. Not only then, come to like 2012, 2015, I think like major issues around this same topic were those, and then with an abundance of other attributes then coming this far. So, I think then those reasonable foreign nationals need to come together and actually find a way on their own. Find a way to call these rascals into order. Otherwise, there will be problem. Inevitably so, there will be a problem. And it will be beyond our control and our asking for mercy on your behalf. Do not think that South Africans are fools just because South Africans have this notion and concept of Ubuntu, warm-hearted. South Africans are warm-hearted individuals. We actually subscribe to that notion, which is African notion of Ubuntu. So, there is no way that now you would take advantage of that because you do not actually subscribe to that. So, meaning you are not a real African. Because a real African automatically subscribes to that notion of Ubuntu. Do you think you can actually come and take my vehicle that is parked in my garage and actually park yours and mine, leaving mine outside? What do you call that? What is that? So it's just a reality that I am foreign in Zimbabwe, I'm foreign in Zambia, I am foreign in Libya, I'm foreign in Ghana, Kenya. I am foreign because I'm not a citizen there, a registered citizen. Up until then, I actually do acquire that citizenship after actually obeying the laws of that particular country. I will always be a foreigner. I will always be a kwere there because I'm foreign. I'm South African. I'm from South Africa. I'm not from Ghana. I'm not from Kenya. I'm not from Libya. I'm not from Zimbabwe. And you are foreign in South Africa for as long as you are not a citizen in this country. So the section 22 and 24 kind of documents, then you think that you have a privilege that is superseding a South African citizen. It's an issue. It's a problem. And you'll just tell us, no, Africa is one. And you don't tell us about Mandela. Don't tell us about Mandela. Mandela as an individual can never in any way have a control, even if he was still alive. He can never have a control over the livelihoods of millions of South Africans. Because you also misconstrue the concept around Mandela. In fact, Mandela et al. Or Mandela and others. Because it's not only Mandela who actually was at the forefront of liberation of this country, which he abandoned, in fact, because it's a struggle that he abandoned. We are in this mess because of the very same Mandela. That's why you actually you feel you are you are triggered. You feel triggered when you talk about Mandela. You feel what is this word? You are so ecstatic when talking about Mandela and stuff. Is it Mandela? Mandela is not a superhuman, especially for us, and especially for us as the brown-skinned people, because Mandela dropped us when we actually trusted him. So I'm just warning you, Africa is not one in terms of governance, but we can have and stay along each other in Africa, not only in South Africa, in Africa, only when there are official processes that actually require that to happen. Only then. But for now, you are just foreigners. So it's either you actually obey that or you continue being a rascal. Then you will get then what you actually saw. You will get the outcome of what you actually saw. I am telling you. Okay, I've said my own.
South Africa became a democratic constitutional state in 1994. As a sovereign nation, South Africa has the authority to protect its borders, decide who may enter or remain in the country under its immigration laws, enforce national legislation, make independent policy decisions. Like other countries around the world, South Africa has the legal right to regulate immigration through legislation and border management. Illegal immigration has become one of the country's most discussed political issues. Many communities have expressed concerns about border security, pressure on public services, employment opportunities, identity document fraud, crime, although authorities caution against assuming a direct link between immigration status and criminal activity without evidence. These concerns have led to growing public calls for stronger immigration enforcement and more effective border management. The South African government has stated that immigration laws must be enforced while remaining consistent with the Constitution. Authorities have increased border inspections, workplace compliance operations, deportations of people found to be in the country unlawfully, following legal procedures, anti-corruption efforts within immigration services. Officials say these measures are intended to strengthen national security and improve immigration management. South Africa's constitution protects the rule of law, equality before the law, human dignity, fundamental rights. While the Constitution allows the government to enforce immigration laws, it also requires that enforcement be carried out fairly and legally. This means border security and constitutional protections are both important parts of South Africa's legal framework. South Africa is an independent and sovereign nation with the authority to manage its borders and enforce its immigration laws. At the same time, the country continues to balance national security, economic priorities, constitutional values, and international obligations. The debate is likely to continue as policymakers, communities, and civil society discuss the best way forward. What do you think? How should South Africa balance border security, immigration enforcement, and constitutional rights? Leave your opinion in the comments below, and please keep the discussion respectful. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more South African news and current